Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk, and Slabsky has promised us a big comeback. So let's see what happens here. Tier 7, down to Tier 5. He's in what is a really fun premium tank, by the way, for Tier 6. You know, there's a lot of good Tier 6 tanks out there, and obviously some of them are premiums. They are certainly a little bit, they overpowered, overtuned, better than average kind of thing. Maybe not as bad as Tier 8, although I think there might be an argument for that to be true. But the T-3485 is well overtuned. It got a buff many, many years ago and has basically never been nerfed since then. Slabsky said he had a bad ping, so you're looking at a little bit of stutter here. Says he's going to go down some tanks and he's going to take some arty rain, although it's just a LEF. Oop, there we go. Okay, so let's just talk about this real quick. We go over and over this a lot, but you may be a new player, may not be familiar with this map. Old Lakeville Himmelsdorf here. See where this Panzer IV is? Never, never, ever, ever, never, ever, never, ever, on the deployment from this south spawn, cross down here on the lower part. Maybe if you're a fast scout and you're going for these bushes, or potentially up into this area to spot, which is highly dangerous, or just for a active spotting run through the road and into the town and then back out, that is really the only time you want to do that. The 3001 and the Panzer IV-H are being very, very foolish indeed. And this is a low-tier game, so you'll see this. It is absolutely amazing. Well, that guy's been gone for a while. It is absolutely amazing to me how long it takes some people to learn that. So, unfamiliarity with the map, unfamiliar with the game mechanics, maybe some of both. Just understand, see the Super Chaffee? And they have a 50-2. You're going to get spotted, my friends. Do not cross. The same thing, it's an analog in the north. Don't go near the lake. I guess that's probably the best way to say it. Initially, my friends, do not go near the lake. It's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. All right, Slabsky is taking a couple stabs at some blind shot stuff, and he moves on into town. Doesn't have a whole lot of friends. This is becoming more and more standard on this map. Even their Tiger 1, which is not a particularly good hold down tank, has gone into the Valley of the Noobs. We have a T-29, so a huge advantage for our team, and only an LEFH. You know, he says they go down tanks. I'd be curious to see what happens to the T-29. I mean, if you're in a T-29 in that setup, you should be having an absolute heyday. But meanwhile, Slabsky is punching people in the face. Thing about the T-3485M, it's got actually pretty decent armor for a medium. Approaching kind of heavy-ish armor at Tier 6. And it has a ridiculous amount of DPM. I'm just going to come in here and gun down the Cromwell. That's a good kill, because that is a very dangerous tank at this tier. 100%. One of the better Tier 6s for sure. Especially for a tech tree. Remember, that's not the B variant, which is a premium. It is the standard tech tree variant. So let's take a look at this. We have a very bad situation. It looks like the T-29 might have been Zerg rushed based on the numbers they have there. But the Valley of the Noobs has fallen, and fallen hard. So what do we do? Do we keep pushing into their cap, or do we go back? Let's see what Slabsky does. You choose your own adventure. I would be heading back myself. Oh, got lit. Yeah, get out of there. You know, a couple dangerous tanks still left. We got the E-25. Wolverine shoots very quickly. E-25 shoots very quickly. T-50-2 shoots very quickly. And we click. Gravel Monkey is hanging out in the middle. We'll just change change gears and start talking about Gravel Monkey. That's a pretty good name. The reason I mentioned the fast-firing tanks is getting perma-tracked. Gets started by an E-25 hitting you. Maybe you fix your tracks and try to get out of there, and all of a sudden the Wolverine gets you, and then the T-50-2 joins in, and now they're all just shooting you in the track, keeping you pinned down. The rest of them shot or machine gunning you from there. Looks like Slabsky's team has done an okay job holding them off, so they didn't just drive up and around the corner and start wiping people out, and Slabsky is now headed back. So not quite a comeback yet. Maybe, I don't know, they're down 6-7, down one tank now. 2 tanks. I guess the 3001 is probably not long for this world. The Leo is back. Yeah, there he goes. Now we're down 3 tanks. The Leo is the only thing kind of watching, and you'll notice that the other 3 tanks on Slabsky's team are doing what generally you see in this game is people are fairly analog. They've won their flank, and they're going to go to the cap that they're pushing for. You see that a lot at all tiers. It is quite common down here. At the lower tiers, people don't quite understand or really even think about the bigger picture strategy of the game. And I know most of you know this, but for anyone who might be new or not know this, the best plan was for them to all turn around and clean up their cap. Kill whatever's at the cap, and then worry about all the tanks that are hanging out at the enemy cap. Now, a couple things to think about there or consider is eventually the guys you left alone in the north, if you all came back to cap, would realize most of you went back, or they would realize nobody's pushing and they haven't seen anybody for a while. This would be a great kill if we can kill this thing. There we go. Fantastic. And they will eventually come at you from the north. So it is time limited, but players who have exhibited a penchant for camping will often continue to do so well past the point where they should. Holy cow, this is a tiger here. And he hits him on the run, and the tiger is just an accurate tank, but he's also getting double teamed by the 3002. Slabski puts a few hits into this guy. Oh, that he shot. Very interesting. That was wild. Oh, now the Artie is coming in. Maybe this is the Artie rain he's talking about. I might have prioritized the Valiant just to get rid of him, but he doesn't seem to be shooting at you. So maybe not a big deal. The LEF pretty much has to, well, not pretty much, it has to nail you directly to do any damage. This poor tiger just gets absolutely schwammered. Now, the beauty here is the 3001 and the 3485M have a bunch of DPM, and they shoot very quickly. So they can melt tanks, provided they can stay in the fight. They can really do some serious melting of tanks, and the Valiant's just in big trouble. Oh, we missed. That is a bummer. And we have an E25. Did not realize that. So we've got an E25 with a bunch of firepower, 3485 with a bunch of firepower, and a 3001P. And now the 50-2 is on the middle. Not a lot of gun depression. Oh, the guy's still shooting where you were. Oh, bless his heart, the Artie player. Almost shot the curveball right around that rock. 3001's pushing in. There is a Super Hellcat, so he was lit. KV-1SA can be a little bit problematic. It's got a fast-firing gun. It's got the autoloader on it. The Super Hellcat's got a bunch of camo. Hits pretty hard for this tier. Not particularly fast in terms of reload. Obviously, the LEFH fires and fires and fires. And the 50-2 has a lot of vision, so we're kind of in a bit of a tough way. And splitting up here. This is an interesting decision, but the 3001 is going into the valley. Maybe just to take a peek. We'll see if he changes his mind. Now the 1SA is lit by the E25. E25 has a lot of camo. He doesn't lose camo when he fires, or he loses less of it. I don't remember where it is, but it's definitely kind of a legacy thing with TDs. So I don't know if he fired and decided to move or just wanted to move. So he's kind of moving deeper into the town. And now we've got Slabski with 4 kills, 1700 damage, coming around here and looking for a couple tanks. Would be unfortunate if the Super Hellcat ended up being in the back row and could shoot us. Well, he just drives right out and says, you know what? 1SA, you're not looking at me, so how about you have one of them? And I got another one for you. You just keep looking that way. That surely nobody's shooting. What is happening? What? Okay. They never stood a chance. Oh, it's Chuck. I didn't realize Chuck was in here. Fantastic. You know what, Chuck? They never stood a chance, my friend. You are 100% correct. Trying to keep an eye out on the Hellcat, but seeing as the dude hasn't really showed up or hit us or whatever, this is probably not a bad idea. 50-2 is just trying to get away. Some misses, some bounces, and off he goes with 238 hit points. That's going to put him at a 2-shot to Slabski. 2-shot to the E25. 3001 hasn't done a whole lot, but now it looks like maybe he's thinking about pushing up the valley. We're kind of closing in on these guys. I guess the Super Hellcat has been camping in the back somewhere, potentially. He might be a hole down. Maybe he's waiting a little bit further in there. I don't know where he could possibly be. I would suspect, all right, so I'm going to expect him to be here at about A2, or maybe on this corner here at about B2, B3. Let's see what happens. Slabski's kind of thinking the same thing, I think. He's guarding that spot. Maybe come around here. There he is. Oh, is he AFK? Looks like the Hellcat is potentially AFK. He didn't move. That would make me suspicious. Yep, AFK. Alright, so we have the 1SA, which was basically bot level attempt. We have an AFK Super Hellcat. And the poor 50-2 is probably wondering how this one slipped away. He's definitely wondering how this one slipped away. He's standing his ground, taking shots, eats another one, takes a snap, but doesn't get it, and down he goes. And now for the big finish, the best part of the game, the best part of waking up is an Artie dying on this particular YouTube thing. I don't know. That didn't work well. Down he goes. An angel gets its wings. Fantastic. And there we go. Slabski with the big comeback. He said 7 kills. That's not true. I'll give you 2 kills for the artillery kill. So we'll call it 7 kills. That's worth 2 in my book, Slabski. Well done. 3,148 damage, 242 assists. I like the whole gameplay in there all around. Watching for some shots in the middle, took a couple stabs on common places where people camped, where people camp on the road right there. Avoided going close to the lake. Got into the city, pushed through because nothing was there, took some shots, realized his cap was in trouble, came back, cleaned the cap up nicely, and then worked with his team to come around, close in, and take them out. So really well done. In fact, the 3 guys left alive have 12 of the kills. So very clear why those 3 guys are the ones that are still alive. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let me know what you think of it all down below. If you have any other suggestions for Slabski, go ahead and chuck them up there. That's all I've got. We will see ya.